I liked to be a little bit overtrained. Because to me, I responded better. I think supersets and triple sets and quadruple sets and all of these kind of things created that kind of extra fire in the muscle.
You clicked for the ultimate Arnold Schwarzenegger workout. But this isn't just training. Most lifters chase numbers, but Arnold chased mastery. Every rep was a proof that when effort done right, it will become an art. It's obsession, translated through iron, discipline, forged into habit, and vision, turned into a physique that redefined history.
I do everything that I can to be a winner and to get the body that I envision.
The man behind it, Arnold Schwarzenegger. And by the end of this story, you'll understand how he built a body so timeless that even decades later, we still call it the blueprint. Everything began with chest, the armor of champions. Barbell bench press, 5 sets of 8 to 12, 3 seconds down, 1 explosive drive up. He didn't bounce the bar, he commanded it. Incline press, same volume, 30 to 45 degree angle. Arnold pressed like a sculptor, adding depth and density with every rep. Then came dumbbell fly, a slow stretch that opened the chest like wings unfolding.
I was a big believer in expanding the chest as much as possible and giving that stretch, because remember, with muscles, the important thing always is to get the stretch and to get the flex.
Dips to failure ignited the fire.
Remember that after you do the bench press and you do the incline press and the dumbbell incline press and the flies with the dumbbells and all this stuff, now you still have to do the dips for the lower pectoral muscle.
And pullovers tied it all together, linking chest to back. Front to frame. He trained until the muscles didn't just work, they communicated. That was the language of the Golden Era.
I think the biggest mistake is that you go to the gym and you go through the motion, but you don't really have your mind inside the muscle.
And if the chest was the armor, the back was the engine that carried it. Deadlifts, 5 sets of 6 to 10. Bar close, hip set, drive through the floor like you're trying to break gravity's rules. Wide grip pull-ups to failure. Stretch at the bottom, contract at the top until your lats ignite. Barbell rows for thickness. T-bar rows for power. Arnold used to say, if you want to fly, build your wings.
We did it because it was the only way to really open up those wings, the shoulder blades and the lats, and really create the width. Because lats is not for thickness of the back. Let's not fool ourselves here. It is all for width.
His back was his flight plan, and each rep was altitude. When you saw that V-taper on stage, you didn't just see muscle, you saw discipline etched into flesh. And if you've ever trained past failure, when music fades and breathing is the only sound, then you've felt his world. That's the moment Arnold lived for. And if you live for that as well, subscribe now to Iron Beast Warrior, because here we don't just remember legends, we help build the next ones. And the next muscle group was the shoulders, the crown of power, where the frame becomes a statement before a word is spoken. Seated barbell press, 5 sets of 8 to 12. Back straight, bar steady, no cheating at the bottom. Straight after that, he would switch to his favorite exercise. Now, after we already pumped the shoulders, we need to finish them. And the lateral raises are here to help us with it. They're the ones that build the width.
You shock the muscle all the time with unusual things. And one of them is to do the hand, the barbell back and forth. Another one is to go down the rack from 110 pounds we did in dumbbell presses to 100 pounds to 90 pounds to 80 pounds, all the way to 40. And then we did lateral raises with the 40 pounds. And then we did bend over lateral raises before we ever put it down.
Next, the upright rows for armor, and the front raises for authority. He didn't train for balance. He trained for presence. Under the lights, those shoulders told a story before he ever posed. But beneath them stood the foundation of every victory, and probably your favorite body part to train, the legs. Barbell squats, 6 sets of 8 to 12. Bar on his back, eyes forward. He lowered himself into the pain and rose with purpose. Then the front squats for shape.
I did front squats because there I had to hold the weight in front, I had to look up and to go totally straight down, so therefore I could train the outer thighs.
Lunges for endurance. Leg press, extensions, and curls to build depth and balance.
It was usually always 5 exercises that we did for the legs minimum.
After we finished with big muscle groups, we'll switch to the small ones, but not the least ones, the calves. And it was very simple, but also powerful. Calf raises, 6 sets to failure. Full stretch, full squeeze, no excuses. Arnold truly believed that legs weren't genetics. They were grit on display.
When you do calf raises, and I do my donkey calf raises, I got to be inside the calves and to make them split, to make them open up when those guys sit on top of it. You know, first 3 guys sitting and doing donkey raises. You know, some people looked at this and this guy's doing some kinky singing.
When others saw limits, he saw an opportunity to suffer longer. That's why his foundation never shook. And now we arrive at the final chapter. The signature, his arms. Barbell curls, 6 sets of 8 to 12. He moved slow on the way down, fast on the way up. 3-second negatives that carved mountains into his biceps.
I think it is something that everyone would grow if they would do barbell curl that is, done on the beginning very strict. Then when it gets heavier, with a little cheating, and then when it gets really heavy, more cheating.
Incline curls to sharp the peak, and concentration curls for a good mind muscle connection. Each rep was focus personified. Then came skull crushers, 5 sets of 10 to 12. Lower the bar with control, explode with intent. The triceps weren't just strong, they were architecture. Overhead extensions and pushdowns to finish. The final seal on a legacy of iron. Every pose on stage was earned through this ritual. Every rep was a conversation between pain and potential.
Posing is so much part of training that you should never do an exercise without hitting a pose right afterwards. But the more you pose and the longer you hold your poses, the more you control you're going to have on stage.
Arnold Schwarzenegger didn't train to win trophies. He trained to conquer himself. His greatest rival was always the man he was yesterday. He knew the body was temporary, but discipline could last a lifetime. So now the question turns to you. Which part of this golden era routine will you master first? The chest that commands respect, the back that spreads like wings, the legs that carry your resolve, or the arms that announce your work without a word? Write it in the comments. We read them all, and your choice might be the next deep dive on Iron Beast Warrior. If this story lit something inside you, carry that fire into your next session, because the gym isn't where you lift weight, it's where you lift your standards. Pain fades, pride doesn't. Subscribe now, because the next story might remind you why you started in the first place. And with that being said, I will see you in the next one.
I'm a man of perfection.
Yeah.
What happened was I saw one time a 6-foot mirror when I was 15 years old, and I looked in a mirror. I was standing there in front of the mirror totally naked, and there was one particular part of my body that was bigger than the rest of it. And so
We'll be right back after the